Yesterday, I did quit my job, my full-time job in Canada, in Canada's economy. I did quit my job. Like, I'd rather not enjoy the process of what I'd want to do rather than not enjoying, and I'm still not doing what I ideally wanted to do. Don't wait for that perfect moment. You'll never get that perfect moment.
You grew up in Nairobi?
I grew up in Nairobi, man.
Did you feel like you were downgraded when you went to Kisses?
I did feel like I was downgraded.
Where would you have wanted to go?
If I'm coming to you just because I want something from it, I think that's a wrong way of looking at it. Be genuinely curious about that person. If I'm meeting this director, I want to meet them because I like this and this that they did in their life and their career trajectory. And I think I have so much to learn from them. You know, if you leave that meeting saying, let's keep in touch, there's no touch you're keeping there. There's no touch you're keeping there.
Never leave a meeting with let's keep in touch.
Let's keep in touch. What touch? Networking is just not networking, but the ability to draw value out of those networks.
What's up, folks? This is the Couch Connect. My name is Joab, and today I'm hanging out with Ray. Is that what you call yourself?
So they call me Motari.
Motari.
So they call me.
Motari is an entrepreneur, right?
Yes, I am.
But I think you have a background in law and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. It's my resume is all over the place, man. Lots of different things, trying different things. I pride myself in that, but yeah, I do have a background in law. But right now, I want to go into the entrepreneurship space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Ray is a 3X founder. He's founded 3 companies, and I think our conversation today is gonna, talk about that process of finding those companies.
Yeah.
And your journey after that. If you're new to this show, this is the Couch Connect. Over here, I hang out with folks like Ray here, and we talk about the science and art in everyday life experiences. So subscribe to the channel and do like the pod and tell your friends to tell their friends so that I can continue bringing guests who are better, like Ray over here. Let's start off with something that happened yesterday in your life. So a friend of mine, there's this pod that I watch. This friend of mine, his name is Macarius.
Yes.
But he doesn't use that name. So people know him as Mwafrika. Mwafrika says that never quit your job if you didn't decide to quit your job the morning before you left home. So you only quit your job if you've decided the morning you wake up, you know that you're quitting your job.
You're quitting your job, yeah.
So let's talk about that. So tell me what happened yesterday.
Yesterday, I did quit my job, my full-time job in Canada, in Canada's economy. I did quit my job. It was tough, man. It was tough. I spent like the whole day, literally. So like how I make my calendar is I allocate, like my day is always planned out the day before. So I already know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I know what I'm going to do the next week. So I had literally allocated 3 hours for the process of sending in my resignation. Bro, it took me like 6 hours. Cause I woke up and like it's so like part of being a Canadian employee. So I was working or I gave a notice to where I was working, which was a bank. You have access to like employee stocks, which means that if you save some funds, they match the same to you. So you're able to see, you're just seeing your money grow, right? Like every salary, every paycheck, it goes somewhere and like they match it. So it had to start with that, like removing those savings, and they're not vested, which means like assuming, I'm not saying I did, assuming I'd saved $5,000, the company had $2,500 free money. That's actually free money that they give you, like because of being an employee. And so you have to let go. So whatever I had, half of what I had to let go because
you resigned.
Because I was resigning. Then they ask you, are you sure you really want to close down your account? That question, I took like 10 minutes to, because like, but what am I really doing?
So the resignation process is like very long, looks like, right?
It's not. It's just for me, it was hard.
So like there's a steps to resign. You just don't send a resignation letter. You gotta exit some accounts and stuff like that? From what it seems like.
It depends on how you want to do it. You could just wait till your last day and do it. Like for me, I gave 2 weeks notice yesterday.
Yeah.
So I was just like, for me to be able to give in that 2 weeks notice, I need to like remove money from my accounts, all the savings that I have, just remove them. So that was the hard part, like seeing what you've saved for a very long time and just, yeah. So remove the money, let it go. The email, Jesus Christ, I don't know, man.
How long was the resignation email?
3 lines. It was 3 lines.
You're saying that the email was crazy, and I'm thinking that you wrote this 15 paragraphs of, I don't know,
3
reasons
lines.
why.
3 lines.
What did they say? Can you remember what the 3 lines said?
Yeah, it was just yesterday. I do remember. It was like, so hi, manager's name. Please accept this as my 2 weeks notice for resignation at this bank. Thank you so much for all the support you've done. I think it's time for me to explore other avenues in life.
Damn.
Best regards. Hope this email finds you well. I didn't put that. I should have done that. So yeah, man, just the 3 lines and yeah. Hey, now sending, I have a video. I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
I did it like 5 times. I wrote the email. I was like, am I sure this is what I want to do? I was like, whatever, send. Done, switched off my laptop, disconnected my whole setup, closed everything. Didn't want to see anything that comes after that. Closed it down, put it on the side. So woke up today a free man.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you decide you want to quit?
It's been part of my mind that I know that to get something you have to give up something. I don't believe in that, by the way, but I've come to kind of believe in it now, that you have to let go something.
Yeah.
For me, it's not that I think I'm going to potentially be moving on, but like that job I don't think was sustainable with what I want to do with my life.
Yeah.
Like I want to build. That's what I want to do. I want to create teams. I want to make a change in life, right? I don't think it went well with what I was doing. It was very, very high paced, very busy. Like dealing with fraud is not the easiest. So it was very, very busy. So I was just like, yeah, I think I need, that's not for me anymore. And yeah.
So when you're dealing with fraud, what are you doing?
Dealing with fraud is a different game changer because you're dealing with people who have lost money.
Okay.
Right. So a typical example would be, assuming you're selling something on Facebook Marketplace. You want to sell this mic, Facebook Marketplace. You go and post it. Then I reach out. I'm like, hey, Joab, I saw you're selling this mic. How much is it? Or the price is always there, but like it's like you agree on the price. Like, cool. I'm gonna send you an e-transfer for that. And when can we meet? And you like decide the place.
Yeah.
So what I do, or what scammers do, they would create a template email like that show e-transfers. There's a way you can send an e-transfer and it comes with a notification, click this email to deposit this e-transfer.
Yeah.
So they create something like that and send it to you. So you think it's the person sending you the money. You go in, click the link. It asks you for your username, password for your bank, because you think you're depositing money.
Yeah, you think you're sending the money.
Yeah, but you're giving them your login information to your online banking. So they do that. They get in your account, clear the account. Then you're expecting money, but they, turn things around. So money's leaving your account. So those are the guys who...
So let me get this clear. So initially, these guys you are the one selling something.
Uno reverse on your face. Do you know how bad that is? You are expecting, you are selling something, you end up being scammed. Like you ask, what took you to Facebook Marketplace to sell that thing, man? It's so frustrating.
So you're trying to sell something. So they send you an email saying, enter your details here and I'll send you money.
No. So if I send you money right now.
I get an email saying, hey, you got some money from Ray.
You got some money from Ray. Click this link to deposit the money.
Okay, so I click the link to deposit the money into my account.
Into your account.
Turns out that
it was a fake email.
Oh, damn. Oh,
it was not an email from Interact. It's an email I created. You put your bank information and...
Okay. So what do you do if something like that happened to me? Then what do you as a...
So we are the guys who go in, investigate. We have to follow the process because we have to see ideally what really happened. Like, because 2 things. I'd call the bank and say that, hey, somebody took money from me, yet you just used your money and you just want the bank to give you back money that you used. So we have to investigate. We have to see that there was a login from a different device that was not yours. We have to investigate all of that.
Yeah.
And so we are the people, if we see that fraud actually happened, we make a determination, depending whether we're going to reimburse you the money back or you don't qualify to get the money back. So the hard part is telling someone that we can't give you back your money. And
I mean, if it is as straightforward as this, why wouldn't you give back the money?
so because it depends. So there's one thing called, there's a code that the bank usually sends before anything.
Yes.
So like, remember you logged in to
the two-factor
yeah,
authentication,
exactly.
yeah.
So you gave them your details, right? And they log. So from their end, they have your use bank card number and your password.
Yeah.
So they're logging in from their end. So what the bank would always do is the bank is gonna send you a notification.
Yes.
Like, are you trying to log in or something?
Yes.
So you're on the call with the scammers and they're like, so I'm gonna send you the money right now, and it's gonna send you like a 6-digit code to deposit the money.
Yeah.
So it's they if you share that password with them. So ideally, okay, how do I explain this?
But let's say
you're-
I've gotten that number and
Yeah.
I enter it in because they might ask the 6-digit number.
right there.
Yeah.
After you put your username and password, remember that data is going to the scammers.
Yes.
Then they'll ask after, enter 6-digit code to confirm that you're logging in. So you're still on the fake website, right? You remember you're on the fake website. So
Yes.
assuming I'm the scammer, you're the real person.
Yeah.
You're on the fake website that we're seeing. Me, I'm in the real website.
Yeah.
So I've put your username and password, and it's asking me enter a 6-digit code. At the same time, in the fake website, we've put a form, put a 6-digit code to receive this fund. So you
Yes.
think you're dealing with the original website.
Yes.
But you put that code, which I put on my end again,
Yes.
and I'm able to get access to
Yes,
it.
now you've got an access. Now, if it was like that, then you guys will pay back the money. Will give me back the money.
If you did put that code, we do not give you back the money.
Really?
Yes. If you put it on, like, ideally,
I put on the fake website,
put
which
it-
looked like a real website.
exactly. So it's more of like that's
That's my fault.
yeah.
Oh.
Ideally, because everyone, I mean, if we were to give money to everyone would just say, "Hey, this and this happened." So it's
So
part
the
of
point is, before I enter the 6-digit code or the 4-digit code
make
anywhere, whatever,
sure,
make sure it is the real.
Make sure
thing.
you're not on a website based on a link that you clicked.
I see.
Yeah. So yeah, so the hard part, yeah.
So what about simple cases that have you ever had any case that had a lot of money, like I don't know,
Yeah.
$1 billion or $1 million? And you had
Yeah, I've lots of it. I know a lady who so there are many ways this can happen. Like I could just have your debit card. So when you go and pay, and you have to insert your card to
Yeah.
like
pay for whatever.
yeah. So when you insert the card, there are machines that take your card numbers, and like I go that and just with your card number, I can add like a mobile wallet registration on my phone. So I have your card numbers, and I do that, add it to my phone. It's complicated than I'm explaining it. There's more to it. If I have your card, so there's a lady who that happened, and they tapped with, they really tapped, man. I think she lost over 70,000.
What are you doing working on $70,000 in your
70 checking's account.
Yeah,
was like, what?
There's a problem with that in the first place.
Yeah, that was messed up, and it's sad, man. Especially when you're telling them that it's a gone deal. It's tough, but yeah,
Yeah, I think in my opinion, in your checking account, you should never have more than $1,000.
honestly,
That's my go-to. I mean, you could have money in a savings account connected to your checking account. They could
Yeah.
easily transfer maybe 10, 20,000.
yeah,
But then again, being an investor and a founder, I never find, like loose change like that. I have to sell something. I have to sell some stock somewhere to
Exactly.
come up with money to do anything. Because I only have money to pay my bills.
I know you don't have enough money like that to bro. There are people who have money. Bro.
Yeah, that must be inherited money or something. It's not money that they worked hard for. It must be they probably want something. Because here's what I say. if you are a person who is hardworking, you'll always put your money to work hard for you. That's
Facts.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
You will never have money lying around. Okay, if your expense about $100,000 a month, then it is possible to have that.
Yeah,
lying around. But it's not gonna be in your checking account. That's
just sitting
connected to
there.
your wallet. Yeah, you get my
Bro,
point.
I've seen things, man. I've seen somebody they just have a checkings account. You leave that, just have a checkings account. That's all they have. All the money they're earning is just on the checkings account, and 6 figures, my guy. Just sitting there, you're looking at it nicely. You can't touch it. You're just looking at it.
So let's talk about your three. I mean, so do you have a plan actually now that you told those guys, bye bye?
I do have a plan that involves not busy schedules like I was.
Okay.
A much more chill one. I'm just waiting for it to get confirmed. But again, I should talk about this later on, the power of networking, and that really helped me as well.
Why don't you talk about that now?
So, there's this
How important is networking for you?
Yeah, I think networking, I've said this many times, it's just not about networking, but the ability to unlock value out of your network. So it's just not that I've come and sat here with you, but what real value are we getting out of this connection? So funny thing, Joab, except my first job here in Canada, all the jobs I've gotten, I've not applied for them. Literally, it's just through my networks.
Yeah.
So basically, how I view it is, when I got here, my first job was like a customer service kind of role. Within 3 months, I got promoted to be a supervisor. Then after that, so when working full time in that role, I met somebody who works with the bank that I'm in right now. She came through, did good customer service, and I was like, "Hey, I'm interested in working with your bank." Like, yeah, let's meet and connect and see. We had that coffee chat, and I was like, to be honest, I'd really want to join your bank. Are you able to refer me for any of your roles? And like, yeah, you know what? You did really good service for me when I came, and just like that, I got a call from a recruiter the following week to do an interview. So
there's something you said.
Yeah.
The value of networks. So can you say that again?
Networking is just not networking, but the ability to draw value out of those networks.
So that's the most important bit. What value can you draw out of the networks?
So it could be, of course, you'd have to know what the end goal is. Any network, like what I say for me, any networking session, 2 outcomes: either we have a date when you're going to meet again, or I leave that session with a referral. So before I finish, let's say I'm booking a director for a coffee chat, I'd be like, are we able to book another date to follow up on our conversation that we had today? Or if they're very busy, like, are you able to refer me to someone? You notice in that way, it's the cycle never stops.
Yeah.
Because either you're meeting them in a different day, or they're referring you to somebody else, and you meet the second person and you're like, could we follow up on this date? And make sure you don't leave, if you leave that meeting saying, let's keep in touch, there's no touch you're keeping there. There's no touch you're keeping there.
Never leave a meeting with let's keep in touch.
Let's keep in touch. What touch?
So what do you do? What do you do?
People don't care.
Okay.
People don't care. Like, you'd think people care. People don't care. People don't. If somebody's telling you, let's keep in touch, those are stories, man.
Yeah.
So I'd say, before I end my coffee chat, I'd be like, hey, this was amazing. So I'd really love this conversation to continue. Are we able to follow this up after like 3 months? Book a date. Make sure you have a date. Like,
put it on the calendar.
Would this date work for you?
Yeah.
Right? Or are you able to refer me to somebody who I could also connect with along these lines? I was telling you the story yesterday. I was meeting one of the CEOs in Whitby area here, and I met him based on a brunch session I had with my former CEO, who was at the place where I used to work. And before I left that meeting, I was like, you need to connect me with someone. And he connected me with this CEO. So we had the meeting with him yesterday. And before that meeting ended, I was like, could we book for April the 13th? Like, I made sure we have that date and we're booking right there, because...
Yeah. Is there a reason why April the 13th, or is it because 2 months
after?
No,
like it was just the available date that we could meet. So there's no specific reason. It was just, But the main thing, just make sure you're leaving a networking session with either a follow-up date or being referred to the next person. But if you just want to meet, of course, if you want to meet somebody just for the sake, just to know them, then it's. But if you have an end goal,
Yeah.
I think the conversation needs to continue. Yeah.
Okay. So, and how did you start these networks? So let's imagine out there's someone who doesn't even know how to start networking. So how did you start?
So for me, I think I'd speak mostly within where I am. So first of all, what happened before I moved to the bank, I was working as a supervisor in one of the non-for-profit companies here, and I was a full-time student, and that time regulations allowed us to work full-time. So it was the time when it was moving from full-time to part-time, which means you can't work full-time anymore, which means that I had to step down from that role. And the CEO was like, "Hey Ray, I think you're a really good person, and I want to mentor you." I was like, "What?" Like, out of all the people that you actually saw, I was like, yeah, it was like, I actually see something new. Yeah. I was like, cool. So we started having sessions every Friday. Every Friday, we used to sit down for like 30 to 45 minutes, and he used to tell me, what are your goals? What do you want to achieve in life? How can I help? And just based on that, he explained to me like the whole basis of networks and the importance of that. So what I'd say, networking could be from anywhere. It could be me and you right now. This is a connection we've created. It'd be like, what value would I want from Joab? Assuming in future I want to start my podcast, right? I'd be like, those are things I could learn from you. So it kind of depends on where you want to go in life. So for me, when I joined the bank, that's when it became really, it happened more often, because like, I know you're this role and you want to move to this role within the bank. What I do, go to the organizational chat, look at the director or look at the department where you'd want to work in, and reach out to them like, hey, I want to move to this role. Could we have a sit down and that I could learn more about what you do?
Yeah.
It just takes one person. That's why I say, as long as you get that one person, it could build into anything.
So keep meeting as many people as you can.
Yeah. And with just the two questions, could you refer me to somebody, or could we have a follow-up session?
Yeah.
If they refer you to somebody, that person they referred you to, could you also refer me to somebody else? It's just an ongoing cycle like that. And it would look like it doesn't matter, but as I mentioned, most of the gigs I got was just because of networking, and they said, hey, I know this person who I think would be a great fit for this role.
Playing the devil's advocate here,
Yeah.
is it possible that then this takes away the personal connection that you can make with mentors if all we're looking for is, something out of them?
So great question, because literally where I work, I was meeting with one of the directors, and it's like, I know, first of all, let's cut the BS. I know why you're here. I know why you're here.
You don't care about me.
I know. I told you, no one cares, Joab. No one cares.
Yeah.
Like, I know why you're here. But like, that really taught me a lesson. It's like, be curious about that person, about their trajectory. That, because if I'm coming to you just because I want something from it, I think that's a wrong way of looking at it. Be genuinely curious about that person. If I'm meeting this director, I want to meet them because I like this and this that they did in their life and their career trajectory. And I think I have so much to learn from them. So other than just, of course, you have the motive that you want. And it's not wrong to meet somebody because you have a motive. Like, you're not using them. Be clear with them. I'm connecting with you because I want to do this, this, and this. Like, I see that you did. There's nothing wrong with that. So be genuine and curious about the actual person, and be upfront of what the objective or the outcome of the networking is.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, as I mentioned, no one really cares.
Hey.
No one cares.
I like how you're it's kind of like you're drilling that in like really
Bro,
deep, man.
No one cares. Jesus cares for the believers.
Okay, Jesus cares.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about your, all these companies that you've run. So you are really deep into the startup world, right?
Yeah.
All right, so where did it all start?
So this was high school. So basically in high school was rough for me because for those who don't know, I went to a school called QC School. That is, how do I say it? in Kenya, it's like there's Nairobi and there's Kisii. Nairobi is the capital of Kenya. So if you go to a high school in Kisii, it's like a downgrade, man.
You grew up in Nairobi?
I grew up in Nairobi, man.
Did you feel like you were downgraded when you went to Kisii school?
I did feel like I was downgraded.
Where would you have wanted to go?
I was supposed to go to Sunshine.
Why didn't you go to Sunshine?
I was supposed to go to Sunshine, but I don't want to get sued after this. But like, there were stories, man, that Sunshine, the sun shines so much there. If you get what I mean, like it's.
No, let's talk about these stories. I mean, who?
So this is what I'd say.
Yeah.
I finished high school, right? I was supposed to go to. Finished primary school. I was supposed to go to high school.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to Sunshine because it was close to home.
Mm-hmm.
Sunshine was an elite school. Let me tell you, that was like elite school. Like it's, levels, man. It was good. So, but the thing, there was so much stories of what happens in there.
What are those stories? Why don't you want to talk about them?
Anyway,
I mean, it's what you heard.
Yeah,
They're alleged
whatever.
stories.
You guys,
What are these alleged stories?
the alleged stories was there's so much homosexuality in Sunshine. There's so much, other than the education that you'd get from it, there's so much bad company stuff. I don't know how true that is. That is what I heard, right? So I'm not trying to say that Sunshine is bad. It's my dream school. I wanted to go there, so I think it's a really good school as well.
Okay.
So what happened? Yeah, my mom went in, got me an offer letter.
To Sunshine?
Yeah, Sunshine. I did get the offer letter. At the same time, my dad was working now in Kisii, in the county government of Kisii. So my dad also had connections with Kisii School as well. So what happened is Kisii School is a better performing school, right? Okay. So my parents came in like, "Yo, Ray, I know you want to go to Sunshine, but I was just looking at the results from last year. Like this Sunshine that you want to go to, it's not." Then again, my mom comes, there's this bad behaviors in Sunshine, there's this and well. So I became pissed, man. I was like, no, man, maybe I don't want to do this. But so my dad was like, you know what? Go to Kisii School for 1 month. If you like it, if you don't like it, we'll take you to Sunshine.
Yeah,
that looked like a good deal. Because my dad was there, it was easy to access him. He told me how he was gonna come every weekend.
Did he come every weekend,
bro? That's why I work in fraud nowadays. I've been able to identify fraud from afar. No jokes. But like, yeah. So what happened? Yeah, I went to Kisii School.
And so it's a boarding school.
It's a boarding school.
That's the connection there, because I was wondering, why do you need to see your dad every weekend?
Yeah,
it makes sense.
It was a boarding school. Yeah, so my dad said he was gonna come every weekend. Man's never showed up, man. He did. When he did, he showed up big. Yeah, but like not every weekend as he promised. So that was a downgrade for me. Went to Kisii School. First term, it was whatever. But like, I'm really glad I did go there, because it taught me so many life lessons. I feel like if I went to Sunshine, I'd be part of the, life is good, no much pressure. But Kisii School really taught me how to work. We used to wake up at 3:45.
Where do you go at 3:40? How old are you at 3:40?
Bro, I'm like
17 years old.
The whole teacher is standing with, I'm like, don't you have a family? 3:40, which means to get there, you have to wake up at what, 3 a.m. too?
Yeah.
I didn't get that logic, man.
So you wake up at 3:45. What do you do?
Wake up at 3:45. You run, don't walk.
Where you running to?
MBR, movement by running.
So do you run to I don't know, to the field or something?
No,
track and field, or where are you running to?
No, you're running to class, man.
3:45.
3:45 a.m. It's dark outside, man. It's 3:45 a.m. in class.
This is like a military camp, man.
4 a.m. in class, preps for 2 hours. You're in just class. No lessons, nothing. Just reading for yourself.
And do you understand stuff when you're reading at
3:45? What do you understand, man?
So first of all, full disclosure, I was one of those people. I work very well in the morning. So I was one of those people in high school or whatever.
Yeah.
I used to wake up at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and I'd study at that time. And during the day, nothing was going into my head. So I'd just make noise and stuff like that. So now going back to this whole group mentality, you're waking up, you're getting, 50, 60, 100 students in a classroom at 3:45. Do they understand what they're reading? Is this their style of studying?
Again, that's why I think life should be very, I feel like life should have been more flexible. There are people who do read and understand in the morning.
Yeah.
There are those who do not. I was not one of them. Like, like, don't wake me up. I'll stay late doing something, but like, don't wake me up to study. I'd wake up to do stuff, but not to study. So all of us were being forced to do that. And so the people who do well in the morning, yes, they'd continue doing well. But for those who wouldn't, would just end up sleeping the whole time. I'm like, the teachers knew we were coming to class to sleep. So we might as well just let us sleep as well. But either way, that we couldn't do anything about it because it was a boarding school. So yeah, it taught me the basics. I grew very fast through the ranks. Like in Form 2, I was already an entertainment monitor. That's not even a prefect yet, which means that the next level is you become a prefect. So yeah, and I think leadership for me started from then. And because you're coming to a whole different, let me tell you, a different ball game in Kisi School, like people from various backgrounds. And for me, it was an opportunity to show what I have learned in my upbringing. And like, for me, entertainment was like a company, and that's where it started.
Like, so you started off by being a captain in a school.
Yes. Setting. So I changed most things. We used to have so I was a monitor, then I became a prefect for entertainment. So like I was running it like a company. Like it was very, very organized. We divided, instead of just having one place, we divided our entertainment sessions into 2 different places, one for the movies, one for the music. And like we always like, you just couldn't bring a movie for people to watch. It had to be vetted. So we came up with those regulations to make it very, very...
what are you vetting?
So like, of course, you have to make sure that the movie is not dirty. It's not, has so much bad language. And so we had to do that.
I mean, the movie says right there it's 17 plus, 18 plus, or 13 plus.
Yeah.
Is that enough vetting?
No, yes and no, because you're in a boys' school, man. Just men. You can't give them any movie. Like
you don't want people living there, feeling horny and stuff like that.
Exactly. You can't do that, man. So we have to make sure that we're giving them the right movies to watch. So yeah, we did that. We advocated for football within the week. You'd never hear for that in Kisi School, that people are stopping classes to go and watch football. Never. So we did that. We're like, look, part of learning to enjoy is having the freedom to do what people love. Let people go and watch football for like an hour. If it's a big game, let's just pause everything. So we did that as well. So, and for me, that leadership mentality started from then. I was like, I actually enjoy what I'm doing. So towards end of Form 4, which is when you're about to finish, my friends had a company called African Tribe. And so again, African Tribe was a clothesline company. And let me tell you, at that point, you're in Kisi, and African Tribe was being run by people from Nairobi. So there was that Nairobi and Kisi people. So it was a big thing, man. Like, it was like, what are these people from Nairobi doing? And like,
what does big thing mean?
Like, so in Kisi, let me tell you, when you go to a new place, assuming I go back to Kenya now, it's very easy for me to think that I know everything just because I'm in Canada, right?
Yeah.
So we had that as well. We're like, we are from Nairobi. We know
everything.
We know everything. We know what the latest, clothesline is, the latest fashion is. Mm-hmm. So it was a huge thing because people from Kisi would be like, oh, yo, what's this thing you guys are doing? And we would always, during the cultural weeks, print something like this would be in green, all that stuff. And we'd be like, that's the in thing. But for me, so I picked that. I was like, so my friends, they were like 2 years ahead of me. They had started the company. So I joined in. They hadn't registered the company, but I joined in and I was like, yeah, let's build this. And I started designing the initial logo. I'll probably share the Instagram page.
Yeah.
So all that you see there, I did design all of that, like the merchandise. We had lots of photo shoots and stuff like that. And we also incorporated the company. So that was the first company for me to that we started.
Incorporate, okay.
Yeah, we did incorporate that. We started making money. Like, Joab, we were hosting events. Mm-hmm. We were hosting events. We did our website. It was so cool. But the thing, what really happened is it was not originally my thing.
Yeah.
I'm not a fashion guy. I'm not a clothesline guy.
You're not passionate about it.
Yes, I loved the fact that I could sell stuff, I could create products, but it wasn't my thing. So at that point, I just told the guy, I was like, yeah, I think this is not my thing. You guys continue doing what you're doing, but I think I'll just move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
So that's when I stepped out from Africa.
And so what is the next thing?
The next thing was Atta.
Okay, let's talk about Atta.
Atta was Atta makes me emotional, man, because Atta was one of the companies that I grew from the ground, and like with nothing but just an idea, bro. We pushed things like. So what happened?
So what did Atta do? So give me an overview of what Atta was and what that is.
Yeah. So the backstory of Atta was my dad's car was spoiled, and like I was trying. There was a certain thing that we needed to get it fixed, but like no one could tell what the problem was. We went to various garages, and we asked them, "Hey, my dad's car needs this. Are you able to fix it?" No one knew what the problem was. So I was so frustrated. My dad was sending me to town every day to go and fix his car, and like there was no one who could make it. So I was like, why not make an app that allows users to get connected with car users get connected with mechanics on a pre-triaged thing. So assuming my car has this problem, X problem, I just go, it's like an Uber for mechanics.
Yeah.
I go to the website and say my car has problem A, B, C. This is the type of my car. I put it out there like an order, and all the mechanics are in the system, and they look at that order. Whoever is able to fix it selects it, and shows up and is able to fix it. So it beats the purpose of trying to go out there and you can't
look for this mechanics.
you can't get them and stuff like that. And like it had a whole, you could order spare parts from it, so you had all of that in. So that was the next venture.
So how did it start? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so basically I went to Juja. For those who don't know Juja is a place in Kenya where you'll meet the smartest minds. Those people are smart. A guy would be living in like such a room alone. Like it's not the best conditions, but those guys are smart. Those guys have hacked into, I don't know how many, they've hacked Safaricom a couple of times, man.
Case in point right here. I went to Juja.
You went to Juja?
Yeah. I was in Jquat.
You guys are smart, man.
Thanks for saying that. I don't think I never consider myself to be very smart. But yeah, I mean, I will take the credit since you gave it. I wasn't when you say Juja, I was gonna be like, oh, okay, let me hear where this goes.
But the people around Juja, do you know like the tech, like those
the
guys,
techie guys? Yeah, I mean, I've seen folks who've stolen from like banks and stuff like that. And there's good stories there too.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, like some of the biggest money transfer companies in Africa have actually come from that locality.
Yeah.
In
my opinion, it should be the Silicon Valley of Kenya.
So people should not be going to, what is the name of that city? Is it Tattoo City or Silicon City?
Go to Juja, man.
What is the name of that other city?
It's Tattoo City.
Maybe it's not Tattoo City.
In Machakos.
Yeah, Konza City.
So
it should be Juja City.
Juja City.
All right.
But the Kenyan government would never want to hear that.
I see.
Smart people. So yeah, I went there, approached two devs, got them into the team, gave them the dream. Bro, we used to go there. So then I reached out to my colleague. His name is Graham, man. Shout out to that guy. That guy pushed me, and he's still pushing the idea right now, even after I left the garage.
Yeah,
he's still sticking with it, man. And I think they're gonna go far. So so we were going to Juja every weekend. We were sitting in a room like this. We used to use the wall. We designed that whole app on the wall, just taking the chalkboard, saying we're gonna do this, connect this point to this point, design the whole thing there, and so we started building the app step by step. Graham was helping to get us funding. We did approach a couple of investors to try and get funding for the app. We went big, man. Like we had a team of like 10 people. I'm going to show you after this. Like we developed the whole ecosystem, the business model. Everything was on paper. I have it on paper. Everything was done to the core. So what really happened is it never took off in terms of the tech. I'd say Juja people are smart, but again, they can take you to the drains if you're not careful. If you don't give them, like, I feel like, I mean, I've been debating whether if something fails, is it that the owner does not know what they want, or it's the team? So for me, at that point, I felt like I was a problem. Like, I haven't given them the right tools. I haven't given them the right mindset to work on this. So I blamed it on myself. I'm going to show you the message that actually I think I should read it.
Yeah, bring your phone out and read it.
I
Read
still
the
have
message.
it. So this is after we've built the ATA and we decided to close down. I sent a long message. So this is what I said. Message to ATA. Dear all, I am writing this filled with both sadness and gratitude for an experience that I have not faced before. About 3 years ago, I set on a journey to transform the mechanics industry in Kenya and one day maybe in the world. We were excited to finally be able to make a difference in the world by bringing a product that could make the chain in the mechanics industry efficient, fast, and reliable. For the 3 years that have passed, we have embarked on trying to create a product that will bring this solution. FYI, this was not ChatGPT. It wasn't even there. This was from my heart. That's how you knew it was
What are you
bad.
trying to say? People write messages from ChatGPT now.
Nowadays, man, you would know. So unfortunately, this has never come to pass. There's always been a challenge with creating the product, and just when we thought we were getting too close to have it ready, something would always come up for a change. For the past years, we still have nothing to show for it. So that's the part where we built something,
Yeah.
constantly putting the idea out there, but it just never got delivered. So I never knew what the problem was. So I resonate with the legendary Ken Rogers lyrics. You need to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. And I believe it has reached the time for us to let this go, for there's nothing to show for it.
How long did it take you to come to that conclusion? Like from the first day that you were dealing with your dad's stuff to when you wrote the message?
Total of like 3.5 years. Okay. So that's how bad it was, because like I was building all these things all this time, and it just never happened. We had the right team, we had the right people, but the product never happened. So till today, I'm not sure if I was the problem or it was just the team couldn't get the job done.
Okay, so did you create the product?
Yes and no.
And so there was some semblance of a product.
It never went out.
But you never put on any app store or anything like that.
No.
But it did work in your phone or anything
It did.
like that?
It did.
So why didn't you put it in the app store?
So ideally, there was always issues with bugs. So first of all, like how the app worked was not how we intended it to be. It was a very generic app. Like it did connect users with mechanics, but for me, I wanted beyond that, let's allow spare parts to be ordered in the app. I know we should have followed. That's why again I say I don't know if it was a problem with that but yeah, I just felt like it was not revolutionary by how we developed it, and I just never had the courage to let it go out there. I was just like, no, I don't think this would work.
You feel like you're holding onto it too much, and you never wanted it to take any direction. Like,
the right word, I needed it to be perfect.
Okay.
Biggest lesson I've learned in life. It does not always have to be perfect. I knew how I wanted that app to be, and if it was not like that, we were not gonna go live.
Why did you always want it to be very perfect?
I don't know. I think I was just a perfectionist. But again, lessons I've come to learn as well.
Okay. So how did these lessons change your experience now as, a founder of other companies?
Right now, like if you read my latest LinkedIn post, I created a LinkedIn page for my company without even a product. That's how it does not have to be ready. There's no right time for you to do it. Just do it then, the way it is.
Do it now.
Do it now.
Yeah.
You want to start a company, don't say, I'm going to, people want to start the business plan. I listened to this guy called Vusi. He said, a business plan for a startup is the most ridiculous document you'd ever have. Because, you're having strengths, weaknesses, our fast turnover is going to be like this, all that stuff won't work. It will not. So it's just, instead of doing that, just start. Go out there, create a LinkedIn page. The next day, put out a website, step by step, build on it. You mentioned how you built all of this up. It's a day by day thing. There's no time you'd have everything that you need. There'd always be something more that you need.
Yep, right? Very true. At least talking about the Couch Connect here. So I've had equipment for a long time because I've been a filmmaker for a while, and I had this equipment lying around. and I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
So one day I just decided to, start a podcast. And I didn't know what I was doing. And I feel like step by step, it's coming to be. And the direction that we're taking, talking about the science of that in daily experiences, I think it's really cool, because that's what we're having a chat about right now. And maybe people are expecting me to be talking about, for example, in app development, people are expecting me to talk about the science in there, talk about the electrons and how they connect with each other, and the physics behind this. But the science is in how do you network, and how is that important?
That's true.
What's the important thing about networking and stuff like that. But but I agree with what you say. Just start.
Just start
now. There's a book called The Power of Now. Have you read it?
No, I haven't. I'd want to read it though.
So there's a line in there that says that. So this was by a friend of mine. His name is Ezron. Ezron is an engineer right now with the Kenya Maritime Authority. So Ezron said that, or rather, Ezron had this line written in front of him, and it said that 1 year from today, you will wish you started now. That line has stuck with me, man, to date. So yes, I do agree with you. Just start.
That's deep, man. Just start, man.
Yeah.
There's no perfect time. If you ask me, I know you're going to ask me what do you have there for. Just start now. Start as it is. Like, don't wait for that perfect moment. You'll never get that perfect moment. So, I do think part of why Atta failed was because I was too scared to. I mean, we started building it, but I was just too scared to let it go. So just do it, man. Do it regardless.
And I love that you actually do say that you think you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
How do you think that helps when someone realizes or agrees or acknowledges that they might be a problem?
Yeah, I think it just sets you up for success the next time you try something similar like that, something similar to that, because I know based on I'm a very honest. I say you can lie to everyone, you can never lie to yourself, right? So I basically know I thrive in life. I try that everything I do in life would never be how I did it the previous day. So learning from my mistakes is the biggest thing. Right now I'm making mistakes, and all I can do from that is just to learn from them, to not make the same mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes, but I think try not to make the mistakes that you did in the past. Yeah. So that's how I look at it. Assess yourself and be honest with yourself. I contributed to this thing failing. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
But I'm still trying to make up to that by doing what I'm doing now as well.
So you said, but actually I want to say that it is nice that you acknowledge that, and may you continue acknowledging that, and hopefully this will take you places.
I hope so, man.
Going back to Atta.
Yeah.
How do you spell that word actually?
ATTA.
Okay.
Atta is easy.
Or Atta means easy.
So yeah, that's what we were trying to go for, yes. So we were trying to make it easy for people to get jobs.
So the word ATTA means easy in some language.
Yeah, I'm not sure what language that is. Okay. I'll check that. Yeah, Atta is easy. Our slogan was life should be easy.
Life should be easy.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask about funding. There's people who are in Kenya. I mean, we have a good audience. I think 20% of our audience is based in Kenya. Mm-hmm. And it's lovely how YouTube gives you all these metrics, man.
Cool. Or it shows that these people are watching from Kenya.
It gives you even right now to the
Shout
city,
out to you guys,
to the city, to the device they're using and all that. So 20% of our audience is in Kenya, and I believe that in this audience of 20%, there's folks out there who are trying to start businesses, or startups, but they can't find funding.
Yeah.
You say that your friend Graham was dealing with funding, but are you able to say anything about funding for startups in Kenya?
I mean, ideally funding is a secondary thing. I don't think that should be the main thing when starting a company. Funding is just what takes you to the next level. So I think if you're at that point in a company where you've looked at the problem and you have a solution to the problem that actually you bring in a solution to a problem that exists, that's the first aspect of it. Once you've able to unlock that, you've come up with a solution, I feel like funding would always come. And what I'd say is, again, power of networking. That's how you just build on it. Right now, part of my company, so what I'm working on now, the garage, my professor, and we have a long history with this guy, my professor literally came as like, I want to join your company. Literally my professor in Seneca. And so he's coming in to help us with funding. And those connections that you build in spaces where you never expected it to do anything, it comes back to pay, because that's he's joining the garage to help us get funding, and it was just based on me connecting with him. So what I'd say, first of all, explore the options that are there. We do have VCs out there who, based on a product, but the thing is that you have to give out equity as well.
Are there specific VCs in Kenya that you could point out?
I personally did not work with VCs. I worked with an angel investor, which means he was a bishop, some heavy guy, loaded guy. So I went and we told him about the idea, and yes, so an angel investor would be somebody who just has money and would want to invest in you. So that's the farthest we reached. We never reached VCs. We never went to Series A, Series B, Series C funding. We never did that. But the thing, what I'm trying to say is, once your product is out there, once you can show that you're able to make money, you could approach VCs, because that's what they're there for. So try to reach out to VCs, sign up for those startup competitions to get free funding, grant and bonds from the government as well. I know the Kenyan government does that. They're able to give their grants for startups. I'm not sure what the criteria is, but they do provide that as well. So yeah, opportunities are there. You just need to be very, I'd say let that not discourage you, because people think that funding is what you really need. I don't think it's what you need. I think funding would always come, and it's going to take you to the next step.
Okay. So let's talk about your current startup. What's the name of the current startup?
Current startup is The Garage. Actually, before my current startup, working in Arta, I had 3 different businesses as well on the side.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So my first business on the side was... So my dad, long story short, my dad went into politics and he bought like motorcycles. So after the campaigns, they were at home. So we took those. I was like, hey, Dad, what are you doing with this? I'd want to get money through them. I was like, yeah, as long as you give me my cut. I was like, what? Like, but you're supposed to be my dad. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had that as well. So basically it was, so those who don't know, it's in Kenya, we call them bodas. I had 2 of them, got 2 drivers, and that was a source of funds as well. Now I ever started Smoky and my Pasua business.
What is that? For folks who don't know.
For folks who don't know, that's selling eggs and sausages on the streets.
On the right side of the road.
And let me tell you, if you talk about growth, that's when I really knew that this thing is possible, because we started like that.
So did you do the actual work, or did you have people doing that for you?
No, of course I had people doing it for me. But
why do you say that? Of course you had people. You can do it. Can't you do it?
Because no, I did.
Okay.
The first 3 weeks I was selling.
Okay.
Literally on the streets. Let me tell you the background of it. So my dad had a shop next to where we stay. I was like, and so I'm very opportunist. Like if I see something, I'd always try to maximize value out of it. So I was like, hey Dad, I want to start a business outside your place. Could you give me some space to do that? So like, yeah, cool, bet you need to buy your own things. So instead of buying that stroller, I took the grill. You know, the grill we used to sell meat. That was our
home grill.
That was our differentiating factor. Other people are selling them on the carts. Us, it's some grill. We used to put aluminium foil. It looks, then you cut the tomatoes, onions, put them. It looked so nice, man.
Yeah.
So yes, we did that, and so the first few weeks I did sell. We it was giving that money. I didn't use it well, but it was good money.
Yeah.
Like I used it to just eat. I bought just bought food. I never invested it or anything. But again, I supported a whole family, because the guy who was doing that literally got his child around that time.
Yeah.
And he came with a wife.
Your employee?
Yes, both of them. So him and the wife, and they just got their child. And like, I saw what that did, giving them that 500 every day to just, based on what, it was good, man.
Okay.
So we did build that. Then my dad was like, what are you doing with this money? Why don't you save it? So I started saving the money. Then my friend, he's called OJ. He started. He was a chef. I approached him, was like, OJ, what if we opened a hotel? So I have little experience from selling eggs and sausages, and like, yeah, let's do it. We did set that up.
So you go together and set up this cafe.
We set up a cafe called Jay's Cafe. I forgot the name. Jay's Jikoni. Yes.
Okay.
Jay's. So him is OJ and I'm Ray. So we call it Jay's.
Okay.
Jay's Jikoni. Oh, that was something, man. Biggest achievement I'd say I've ever done. Like a brick and mortar thing. Like I never thought that my interest would be, but like we did that as well. We started Jay's Jikoni, and that was a big thing around the area where we were. And it started like, so I was handling. He was the chef, so he was the main man of the, like, he used to cook all that stuff. I was the marketing guy. We did ads and all of that stuff. Our design was so nice, man. I don't know. I'll share you. I'll give you pictures if you could just. It was so nice. It was so nice. So yeah, that went on, but didn't end very well because, again, not me this time. I don't think it was me, but I think we were just not, in terms of financials and how much we were making, I think it was not a very transparent conversation between me and him.
Yeah.
So I was just like, yeah, give me my money and I'll drop from the business as well.
Do you know if he's still running?
I think so. I think he's still running, but the dream that I had for Jay's is not where I see it now. I feel like we could have been bigger than what we were. So.
What did you learn from this in terms of, partnerships when you started with a partner?
Yeah, genuine and honest conversations, man. Like for us, that was a big thing. Like we couldn't sit down and like, I'd saying that this is how much you've made, this is my plan, this is, I'd say I'd have a plan, this is how I want us to market the thing, but I wouldn't run it through him. And he would, okay, I want to introduce this new thing in the menu, and like, so I just go in and I find, okay, there's this new thing that we're selling all of a sudden, and he'd come into our Instagram page, our website, and he says, oh, all of a sudden we have this. So it was a clashing kind of thing. And so
it's important to have all these honest conversations about stuff. Yeah,
and be open about it. Be like, this is what we want to do, and because at the end of the day, you're a team. Like we're not fighting against each other here. We're trying to make it work. So yeah.
Okay. So then now you moved into your current setup, right?
Yes. So all of that.
So what is it called again?
So it's called the Garage.
All right.
Yes.
So let's talk about it. I've seen a couple of posts that you put up on LinkedIn. Like you said.
Yeah.
Here, and one of the things I think you said on the Garage is. LinkedIn page is that job searching can be emotionally draining. So let's talk about that.
Yeah. I think it relates with the people where, like, my friends, my roommate has, I don't want to say his name, but he's been looking for a job ever since he finished school, which is like 2 years ago, till today. I don't know what goes through his mind when all of that happens, but it is emotionally draining, man. Like, the thing, applying for jobs and you don't know if you're gonna get that, it's I don't know. And how it's been set up nowadays, I'd say the biggest disaster this world has ever met with is the creation of Workday. Whoever created Workday, yeah.
What is Workday?
Workday is the HR system that companies used to hire.
Okay.
So, like, assuming if I want to work for RBC today and I go and apply for a job, I'd use Workday to send in my application. So RBC does not have like a website where you just go and directly apply. You apply through Workday. So it's a disaster, man. It's sad. It's sad. So yeah, we are trying to go into that space and hopefully try to bring a solution to people.
Okay. So then how will your company alleviate this burden for all these job seekers?
I know, man. So two things. So first, we're still in sleep mode, which means like the second aspect of it, like what our product is going to be, I probably won't share it today, but like our MVP, first of all, is aiming towards, it's going to be B2C, so business to customer initially. So what we're doing is you're creating a master profile, which allows you to put all the things you've ever worked on in your life. everything. Like make it 30 pages, make it 50 pages, however long you want it to be. Just put it in there. Then based on that, we'll use AI and machine learning to try and tailor that resume to a specific job description. So assuming I want to apply for a role again with this company, they posted JD. I'm going to take that JD, post it in our website, and use AI based on my master resume, get a tailored resume for that job description so that you're applying based on a resume that has been tailored. So that's just the MVP leading to the main product.
Okay. I'm just wondering, and critics gonna say that, this will take a personal touch away from resumes.
That's true, but so how I look at it is, I don't think people really enjoy even sitting down and writing their resumes.
Yeah.
They're really frustrated by the process. Yes, they'd put a personal touch, but not even get that job at the end of it. So that makes it just worse, that you've really sat down, you've struggled to come up with that resume, you've tried to align it with that job description and still don't get the job.
Yeah.
So it's like, and you do that, it's not just once. That's the thing with Workday. So most big companies in Canada use Workday. But the downside of it is if I apply through RBC and I apply to CIBC and to TD, I have to create a separate profile for all of those three companies with the same information that I created for RBC. Go to CIBC's website, create it as well. Go to TD's profile, create it as well. Any job that I'm applying for using Workday, I have to go through that process as well. So critics and being personal to your resume, you're already frustrated by that. So basically, we're just trying to say that you should not create a profile many times to apply to jobs. Just have one profile and use it to apply for all the jobs that you want to apply to.
What would you say with the rise of AI and automation and machine learning?
Yeah.
How do you see the job market or job searching changing in the next 5 to 10 years?
What we're already seeing, even with our competitors, is the use of job application automation.
Yeah.
Which means now you don't need to apply for jobs. You just set up your profile.
Yeah.
And you automatically get matched with jobs. So the problem with that is it's kind of not giving a solution to the problem, because the biggest solution to job problem is lack of jobs. So if jobs are created, people will get jobs. It's not that the system right now is not working. It's just that it's tedious.
Yeah.
So automation would make it easier, which means you don't have to apply for hundreds of jobs because the system does that for you. But the thing is, either way, somebody is still getting that job that you would have gotten. So it's not that it's making your profile, it's just making it easier for you to apply for it. So I'm seeing us going to that area where, you don't have to set up the profile again. You just do one profile and you get matched to jobs. What the garage is trying to do is go above and beyond that. Ours is more, other than just auto applying, we're showing you where you stand in the job queue. So assuming today job, assuming you're a software engineer and you're looking for a software engineer role, and based on your resume, you're mid-level. So there's junior, mid, and senior level.
Yeah.
So assuming 100 people join the garage, they're put into various talent pools. So either software engineer, junior, mid, or senior.
Yeah.
Which means you're only competing against people who have same experiences and same profiles as you. So that's the first step. The second thing is, if recruiters post a job that belongs to the mid queue or the mid talent pool, only those people in that software engineering mid queue would get assigned to the role. So this is the thing. All of those people in that queue can work for that role. So it's just a matter of, so who do we give this job to? You might as well just put them in a queue, because all of you guys qualify for the job. So put them in a queue, say, this is where I stand, and there are this number of people ahead of me, so that if a job comes, the queue just keeps on moving dynamically. So that's just more of like what we're going to do. We're going to make it more transparent, more easier for people to not just get auto applied for jobs, but to kind of see. Because there's no good, the best feeling to have in life is being on vacation, waiting for your start date. Like you're on vacation knowing you're starting in 1 month.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
For a job that was auto applied for you.
Yeah, man. Like it's telling you your job is going to start on this day. You're literally sitting and you wake up to an interview notification.
Do you see any challenges here, though? Let's say in terms of privacy or in terms of employment law considerations. Are you expecting any of that?
Yeah, lots of them. First of all, employees don't want, like, they want the physical the physical touch of people actually applying for those jobs rather than AI just doing that.
Yeah. So what do you mean employers want?
Employers.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, employers would like they just. Yeah, I don't think I'm not seeing in the next few years this big companies letting AI do everything for them without the human touch to it. So there's that as well. There's issues of privacy. People will be like, how much access does employee have to my personal profile that I've set up? So that's something that we're working on as well to ensure that we're giving employers data that's needed for that specific role as well. Only, yeah.
All right. So as you've been an entrepreneur for many years and you failed a couple of times.
Failed a lot, man. I failed every time. I've never been a successful entrepreneur, man. I don't know what makes me think this time I'll be successful.
Okay, I think what would probably make you successful is the fact that you are trying because you've started.
True.
But so many aspiring entrepreneurs fear failure.
Yeah.
What would you say makes you different? Or first of all, how do you view failure? And what advice would you give to those who are afraid to take the plunge because of fearing failure?
Nice, that's a good question, man.
Yeah, so how do you view failure? You can start from there.
So I see failure as an opportunity. As I mentioned, failing helps you know that you did something wrong. It's time for you to assess and see what you could have done better, right? So I know it could be very draining, that's the thing, but I think embrace failure, like make it a part of you. Like don't say that I am a failure, but use that as I'd say fail forward, which means that how I failed with African tribe is not the same way that I failed with Ata. And it won't, if this would fail at all, won't be the same way that I'd fail with the garage, because all the failure lessons I've learned, I've used them right now to improve myself. And if you're scared of failure, I mean, the thing is, there are two outcomes to it. I mean, you'd either fail or be successful, right? So if you're scared of failing, look at the other option, which is it could actually turn out to be successful. And either way, if you don't do it, you'll still... Like how I look at it is what's there to lose, to be very honest. What's there to lose? Just a couple of hours working on my company instead of going out, let's say, with my friends. I think the reward that comes with being ready to fail, the reward for that risk is much more greater than just choosing the safe option of, just being ordinary. So failure, it's not a bad thing. It's an opportunity to learn.
Is there any advice that you would give to your younger self?
Be easy on yourself. Be gentle on yourself. Be more. I was used to being very hard on myself, that I need this to work. I need this and this to work. Like so much. I think give yourself some love, man. It doesn't have to be that hard. It doesn't have to be that difficult. So yeah, I'd say that. I'd also say don't be scared of doing it. Same thing. Why I was mostly scared is what you just mentioned. I was scared of failing. Right now I'm not scared, bro. Right now, if the garage fails, I started the garage knowing it's gonna fail. That's how crazy it is. That I'm doing this. I hope my team doesn't listen to this. I'm doing this knowing it's gonna fail.
Your team is probably gonna listen to this.
I know they are.
Yeah.
I'm doing this knowing it's gonna fail, but I'm still doing it either way.
Mm-hmm.
So
do you think it's going to be an opportunity for them to grow as well?
Yeah.
Your team to grow as well?
Yeah, I think so. I'm currently working with really, really cool people. It's new waters for all of us. None of us has been this road before. So it's an opportunity to, be out there and try to make something great. So, yeah.
So 2 pieces of advice.
Yeah.
So first one, what piece of advice would you give to those people out there who are looking for jobs right now, from the perspective of, being a job-seeking professional or HR professional, if I could call you that. I don't know what you call yourself, being in that space.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give those people? And second advice would be, what advice would you give to those people who are waiting to get into business? So first question to employee, people looking for a job.
People looking for a job.
Yeah.
So the greatest thing for me is I hate how the job market is right now. I hate that I have to give this advice because that is what you're trying to solve. But based on what is happening right now, as we wait for the garage to come and bring a solution to this, I'd say two important things. Applying is just not enough. Applying for jobs is not enough. Won't do anything. I had one of the podcasts with Kevin saying that networking plays a major role in all of this. So I know it's very cliche. It is, and there's a reason why it's cliche. If something is cliche, there's a reason why it is cliche. When people say network, it's a big thing right now. If you're trying to get jobs, the chance that you're gonna get a job by you applying it is very minimal right now. So what I'd say is, first of all, have your stuff together. Know what it is you want to go for. Know this is the role that I want to do. This is where I want to be. Look for professionals around that area who've been successful. Go on LinkedIn. I know most of them won't respond, but it doesn't have to be on LinkedIn. It could be even, I'm a Christian, people in church. Are there any people who I can connect with? It could be your family members. Just start from that. I told you, just takes one person and build based on that and be like, so I am trying to get into this role. I'm trying to get into this space. Could we connect? And could you help me? How could I set up myself for success, right? And once you do that, connect with as many people as you can. I'd also say, meanwhile, as you wait to do that, you could be doing stuff like practice questions if you're going into a technical role. I think that's really important for coders. You guys know what lead code does. So continue doing that as well. Setting up yourself for success, waiting for the main thing to come through. So yeah, if you do that, I think you're going to be able to make it work.
Mm-hmm. So what about advice to people who are waiting to get into business?
Just know that you're going to fail, man. You are. It's as simple as that. You are gonna fail, but it's what you do with that failure. You could either decide to let that be the story, or you could decide to change it. And again, you might try it many times, but that's what I'm saying. You need to know when to walk away, because if deep in your heart you've searched and you're like, yeah, this is time for me. It's still okay to fail, but just be ready to fail, and at the same time, be ready to fail forward based on all the things that you've learned in that entrepreneurship journey. Make sure you're not making the same mistakes. And I'd say just do it. Do it tired, do it depressed, do it anxious, just do it. Those baby steps one day turn to be a great piece of, you'd look back and be like, yeah, it's great that I just started. So yeah. And I'm not saying this because I'm successful yet, because I'm not, but probably I'd look into this video in the next 5-7 years and be like, yeah, actually made it happen.
Cool. What's the best advice you've ever received, and who did you receive it from?
One of my mentors, who was the CEO I was talking about, and what he said, he said, just do it, because if you don't, you'll hate yourself for it. Either way. So it's, if I want to do this thing in life, this entrepreneurship thing, just do it, because if I don't, you're still going to hate yourself for it. And that really resonated with me, because I imagine myself, so the days I imagine why I hate what I do every day, sitting out every night, trying to build the company, and it sucks. But then again, I'm like, okay, what if I was not actually doing this? I was just doing my 9 to 5, enjoying life. And I'm not saying don't enjoy life, it's good, but if that was what I was doing, I think about it, and I'm still feel like I was gonna hate myself either way if I do that as well. So it's, which hate do you want to go for? So I'd rather I'd rather don't like the process of what I want to, I'd rather not enjoy the process of what I'd want to do, rather than not enjoying and I'm still not doing what I ideally wanted to do. So just do it, because if you don't, you're still gonna hate yourself.
Yeah. I like that, you talk a lot about mentorship and mentors
Yeah.
and this and that. I don't think I was thinking of asking you this, but these mentors, where are you finding all these mentors? I mean, I know you said this story,
Yeah.
but maybe we don't even want to answer that because you already answered that. But how important are these mentors to you? And how many mentors do you have right now?
Yeah. Crazy. So I have like 3 main mentors.
Yeah.
So there's
Why
like,
so many?
because they really help you navigate this uncharted waters. Those guys have been there.
Okay.
Like the people that I'm talking to, they've been down that whatever you're going through.
Yeah.
And there's no way to learn other, like it's hard for me to talk about, because I know if I talk right now, it wouldn't probably have the same impact than if one of my mentors was here giving
Yeah.
their stories,
Yeah.
because they've been down that road before.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do have like a business mentor, a career mentor, and I'd say like a life mentor,
Okay.
working towards that as well. So the business mentor is more of like, he's the person who, like, I tell him what I'm doing currently with my with the business. So I'm like, this is the steps that we're going through, this is what we're trying to achieve. So he's been really important to be and pointing out, like, if you do this, you're probably gonna fail. If you do this, you're probably gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
So he's been important in the aspect that I could always run to him whenever I'm not sure, because there are nights I really don't know what I'm doing, and I just need that guidance and somebody to just tell me, this is how you're supposed to do it, or this is how you're not supposed to do it.
Yeah.
So in anything, even in the job search, I had somebody who was just helping me. Like, I used to talk to him about how should I be during this process of looking for a job. And like, because he's been there, he's like, this is the time, this is when you should be networking. I can connect you with this person, because they are like, mentors are like your sponsors. They talk for you in rooms that you'd never step into. Because right now, if I know that like my mentor, if he gets an opportunity where, for example, he's sitting in a board and they're looking for like a startup to to fund or to do this thing, they're able to speak for you because you have that personal relationship with them.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like your guiding light, as well as people who are out there who are there to speak for you and just to help you. Because those who want to go into entrepreneurship, there are nights that I've, as an African man, I should not be saying this, but like like real tears, man. It's like it's like you're killing yourself, man.
Yeah.
It's so bad. You feel like all this thing you've been doing doesn't make sense. So at that point, what I do is I just call a mentor and be like, hey, this is what I'm feeling. And based on that, you're just able to pick it up from there and continue to the next steps. It becomes easier, man.
So, Ray,
Yeah.
when I have folks sitting on this couch,
Yes.
I normally treat them like kings and queens and presidents. and
Felt that today.
Yeah, and so when I look at I try to model this after the White House.
Yeah.
So when a new president is coming in, they normally receive a letter from the previous from the previous president.
Yes. That's usually in the just on the board right there. Just pull it up and there's a letter. Yeah.
Yeah. And so there was a question here from the previous guest on the show. So the previous president of the show left a question for you.
Yeah.
And you're going to have the same opportunity to leave a question for the next guest of the show. And so your question is, what legacy would you like to leave?
I need to meet that person because. So I'd want to write a story of a man who, when I say look, I wouldn't say that my upbringing was like, I wasn't like born in like a really poor house, and we're not that rich as well, but we had enough. So like I was comfortable, right? But right now, now that I even have a job, there's a time I didn't have a job, nothing, just a boy with an idea. There's that time when I say I have nothing, it doesn't like I can go back to my parents' house and just stay, but I'm choosing that. But like I just have an idea and a dream. So I want a story of, because I hear people say that, but I don't believe it. I just don't believe that you're able to start from nothing and get something. It's hard. I know potentially there could be, but it's really hard for me to believe that. I really need to write that story, that from having just an idea, I was able to build something that was able to bring a change in people's lives. Money aside, leave the business aspect out of it. If people are able to wake up every day and they're okay, it's easy for them to get a job based on what you were able to build, that would be the greatest. I'd be so happy with that. So
That would be the legacy.
yeah, man, like your life is easy and comfortable. You could just wake up, quit your job, because you know that if they don't value you, we have something that is able to take you to the next step. That's really, and also, yeah, a boy who just had an idea and was able to make the world a better place. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I don't know if I'm gonna do it, but if not, I know I'd failed while trying.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So here's your opportunity to also leave
Yes.
a question for the next guest on the show.
Let's see.
I like how you were ready. It's like, the question was just waiting to jump out. Because sometimes the guests would like to take some time before they read their question.
I know, because you could literally ask anything,
Yeah.
and I don't know who the guest is.
Yeah.
Do I know?
You don't know. I actually also don't know who that guest
I
is.
hope
gonna
it's
be.
Evans.
I don't think it's Evans.
I hope it's Evans. For those who don't know Evans, Evans is my best friend.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be him because we have him later on in March.
Oh, yeah?
So it's not gonna be him. Yeah.
Save it for him.
No, I can't do that. That's gonna be breaking the tradition.
I know, right? Okay.
And funny thing is, I also don't see the question.
Oh,
until
for
the
real?
day of. Yeah, I only look at it when I'm seated right next to you.
Yo.
So that I don't rephrase it or I don't think
You
about
just
it.
ask as it
I
is.
ask as it is.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that's a legacy, man.
Yeah, man. It's been nice hanging out with you out here.
been great.
Ray, I want to ask you something.
Yes.
Is there something
Yeah.
that you feel like you haven't said that you'd like to tell folks out there? This is your opportunity to say it.
Yeah. Honestly, this just goes out there to everyone who is like in the back of my mind, Joab. I know that I look the way I look, but there's so much going on, like in another aspect of my mind. And so to everyone who's going through that aspect where you're trying to really figure out what is it you want to do with your life, what legacy you want to build, like we've all gone through different things in life. For me personally, stuff that I'm also struggling with right now. I just say first, there's don't give up, because if you do, then you'd be proving the haters right. So keep on proving the haters wrong, that you're gonna make it despite what it is you're going through. Family traumas. You guys had a really good session about family traumas, man. That was amazing. So I'd say, like, because I know, like, I'm really struggling mentally, where I'm like struggling with a lot of things, but still showing up. I'd still say don't give up, because if you guys do, then you'd also be making me I'm not giving up, because I know there are people out there who, despite what they're going through, they're still showing up for themselves. So just keep on showing up and keep on doing it, no matter how you feel.
True.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ray.
This was great. I didn't know I was gonna get this emotional, but like, yeah, I needed to let all these things out.
Thanks, Ray. Thank you very much for honoring us with your presence today to hang out with you on this couch. It's always an honor, man, to have anyone on this couch. To spend your time and talk to the folks out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guys who are watching the Couch Connect or listening to the Couch Connect.
I hope they like it.
Yeah, I believe they're gonna like it.
Well, let's see.
Folks, this has been the Couch Connect. My name is Joab. Today, I've been hanging out with Ray. He calls himself Motari.
Yeah.
Motari is an entrepreneur. He's a 3X founder, and right now on his run for his third venture, the garage.
Yep.
And the garage is gonna help people find jobs. If you like this episode, do give us a thumbs up. Do subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to tell your friends to tell their friends. Till next time.
Deuces. Goodbye, guys.
Go ahead.
Yeah.